So, I mean, Mustafa here is just doing a great job. I'm not Mr. Techie at all. This wouldn't be happening without him. Okay, trust me, because I am not good with all this.
Right.
But what I've learned is what you're really good at, take that to the level.
Mm-hmm.
Open it up and go. What the future holds, we take it a day at a time.
Absolutely.
We just take it a day at a time. Can't grab it all in one time. You can't do all that because then you don't know how you got there.
Right. You can't take over someone else's business and then work it the same way that they worked it because you don't know how they got to that point.
Right.
That's and I want to go over in the future episodes. I want to go over franchising versus starting your own, and a lot of other questions that I have about. You're an old school brick and mortar guy, right? Like
Yes.
You have buildings up. You understand the real estate here. You understand how to get something up and running. You have this beautiful ventilation system. You have all these new lights, everything just from the ground up. And this place, you showed me pictures, and it's on the Facebook as well, right? What the place used to look like.
Well, yeah, that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Some nights I walked out of here, I was crimped over, because from the bending and the painting and one plan at a time. The next night I came in, I made sure I had a plan, what I was going to do, what I wanted to accomplish, and little bites,
Yes.
a little at a time, and then here it is. Same with the jewelry store. My business partner Joe, I can't say enough about that gentleman. He had great insight, and as I grew with him there, gave me insight.
Right.
So, and that's how I hope that I give you insight out here,
Right.
or anywhere, because, like I said, I know a lot of people want to start a business, but they just don't know how to get there, how to start it.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is to make sure that you're all in.
Yes.
Okay, that you love it, and that you're all in. I mean, I know that all of a sudden I look at my watch and go, I got to get going. I got to do this. I got to get this. I got to do this. I got to get this done before I leave.
Mm-hmm.
So then my next day is easier.
Right.
But that takes a little time to do that too. But that's
Yes.
what it's all about.
Right. And one of the things that you really stressed to me in the beginning, and something that you harp on, but it's very important to know, lists. Write things down. Make your day planner. What are you going to do? Here's the time you're going to do it. Get it done. Do it on time. Don't wait. Don't put it off until the next day. Write it down so you don't forget it. So you have more space up here.
Well, you remember
About
that,
a
huh?
list. Of course.
That was I was always against the list. I got this. I got it up here. I got it. I got it. I got it. Well, no, I didn't have it. And I would always forget. I go, oh, geez, I forgot that. But at least now I catch it.
Right.
Like in the morning, you get up. I got to go to the grocery store, or I have to go to the doctor's appointment, or whatever the case may be. Write it down. Write it down. This way, you got a better chance of getting it done than not getting it done.
Right.
We forget. We have a lot of things on our heads nowadays, especially in today's world. It's not the 80s anymore. The 80s were good, by the way. But so that was pounded into me, and so I give back what was taught to me.
Right.
And that's why, Mustafa over here has a list. It's great to see how that's going to work. And you take it out of here, put it here. Now you have more room to put in here, like you said earlier. It's sometimes we overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
But the simplest things can move pretty quick.
Yeah. That's true.
So,
I mean, look at this place.
Yeah,
It was a simple idea, and 3 years in, here we are.
Yeah, and again, like when I first pulled up and I looked in the window, and you'll see when you come in, I had all this castle in my head, royalty, and just giving people the best of the best. When I peeked in, there's a wall in here, and it looks like a castle wall. It was meant to be the castle.
Right.
I mean, it just happened. As soon as I saw that castle wall and I saw the arches, I went, we're in, no matter what it takes. In business, it didn't take a lot to really start this up. It was just a lot of hard work in planning and doing a lot yourself.
Right.
Do a lot yourself. You cut all your costs.
Mm-hmm.
This way you can put your money into the other things that you got to put it into.
Right.
But again, we'll get more into that as we go along.
Right.
And like I said, all that will be when whoever calls in,
Okay.
because then this way I can hit that more head on than just kind of being a vague,
Right.
just throwing it out there,
Yeah, just
because there's a
throw-
lot of information. It's like if you were going to college, you sit in a classroom all day, and you're getting all this information at you. Well, you're going to get the greatest information by the voice. How it was done.
Right.
You can read all the books you want, you can do, but doers get it done.
Right.
If you do it and you keep doing it and you repeat it, it grows into something great.
And now all
First
this
podcast.
Yeah, first podcast, unscripted, by the way. There's
Oh,
no
yeah.
scripts. I have a piece of paper here with some questions. That's about all we got.
What is list?
With a list, of course.
You know?
I wrote down the list because I knew I was going to forget half of these questions. So I wrote them all down. I have some on the laptop here. So I'm going to go over just a couple more questions. I don't want to take up too much of your time here.
Yeah, well, it's not the time. It's we want to make sure that we don't over get you like, all right, we're done now and all that stuff. 'Cause,
Right.
But we're going to we're going to do this once a month. Is that what we're
We'll say once a month we'll
Yeah,
record
we're
it,
gonna-
and then I'll chop it up and we can put it out different segments, different weeks if you wanted to.
Yeah, so he's going to chop it up,
Right.
and so then we'll be like on all the time, but we're not.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. Okay.
And for you early listeners, you know that we're not live every single week like I'm putting out videos, but once a month they're getting started up over there at the castle. Let me go pop in, say hi
Yeah.
before they start it up.
Yeah, we'll do like I said, if we can get into eventually people calling in, then we'll have like an exact time and date.
Yeah.
So then this way you can plan your time around that.
Right.
So
Right. And feel free, leave a comment, subscribe, like, share this with a bunch of your friends. Share it with anybody who is questioning about business. If they have questions about business, if they have questions about, if they're going through a tough time in their life, they have. We're going to mention another part of you. This part, it gets.
we're
a little
gonna
heavy.
talk about that next segment.
Okay. All right.
But but there are great things to happen yet.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
whoever's listening tonight, you're in for great treats as we go along.
All right. So let's bang out a couple of these questions here. What do you think the most important thing in business is?
Well, having a plan.
Okay.
You have to have a starting point and getting to the right people to ask the questions.
Right.
Who've been in business. Like I said, if I didn't ask the questions and talk to these business people, you're not going to know.
Right.
Have a plan, think it through a little bit. And it's that simple.
Right.
Without a plan, you're going to fail. Like I said, you could go ahead and I opened a business, but you didn't. You got to plan it a little bit, but we'll go over that as we go along.
Yep. So easy answer would be have a plan, have a mentor, someone who's doing it, someone who's on it, and be flexible.
Yeah, your time now is going to be your stock into yourself.
Right.
What you're going to put into is what you're going to get out of it. I remember back in the days, my father, God rest his soul, he would say to me, he goes, Rick, you got great ideas, but you never follow through with them. And I will never, ever forget that because for some reason I did have great ideas, but things held me back. I guess I held myself back, but now it's a clear path and you go.
That's a good answer. What are your measurements of success? What do you personally value as success now?
I value the people.
Okay.
My success is the people. Without those people, I wouldn't be successful. Sometimes businesses are handed down to their siblings or whatever. They go, oh, here's a business. All right, what am I going to do with it now?
Right.
They don't know what to do with it, And like I said, the people here made me. I just take it from there. Without everybody here, from the jewelry business to the cigar business to anything I do in my life, if I don't have the great people around me, I'm nothing. I go back to you just coming in. And we sat down. You started having a cigar and sat down. Hey, you know what I did, and then we started up.
Yeah.
But I did learn, the cigar world's number one way to meet the greatest people. Definitely successful because of the people, no doubt about it.
Right.
No doubt about it. I'll tell you, there's just been the loyalty, a lot of loyalty. Trust, the trust. You're getting the right information. You're not just getting thrown around and then have to go figure it out for yourself.
Right.
So any questions that you have, this is why we're doing this.
Right.
We want to make sure you have fun.
Mm-hmm. Have a good time.
And have a good time.
Yep.
And learn.
Right.
You know, because you can't get this in the schools.
No.
You
You're
know?
going to go to a school
You
with a
know?
professor whose entire life has been learning how to be a teacher, learning how to be a professor. You know, you have macro and microeconomic teachers that know nothing about crypto. But we're in the age of crypto. We're in the age of online businesses, affiliate marketing. You know, there's a list that I could go down: website making, design, voice acting, everything out there. And they know nothing about it. All they know is, well, you know, if you invest in proper things, you'll get ahead. Like, they didn't learn. They didn't go through it anymore. But you're out here every single day. You're doing it.
Every day.
So if you have questions, if you are thinking about starting a business, if you're thinking about opening up something, if you're thinking about taking a new step in your life, ask the question.
Ask the question.
Ask the question. We're here for you. Rick's here all the time, nonstop. He can't stop.
Again, it's just you know, where can you go, meet the greatest people, have a great stick,
Yep.
and keep learning. They always say, you know, try to learn one thing a day. You know, keeps the brain. A lot of fun. That's you know, and I opened this place to have fun. Of course, you're going to make a couple of dollars, but that wasn't the whole thing. I needed a place to smoke a cigar where I could be myself.
Right.
And this is just mushroomed into greatness. So, like I mentioned earlier, with the spring coming up, you know, we got the cornhole outside. I got the golf tournament.
Yep.
I'm going to be having that in May. Now and then I bring a celebrity in.
Okay.
A couple years ago, he was from the Miami Dolphins, Jim Jensen. He was a tight end. I had him here. And I'll tell you how great the cigar world is, too, because I was down on business in New York a couple weeks ago. So I go to the cigar lounge down there, and I'm sitting next to Ronaldo Snipes. Okay? I don't know who he is, right? I don't know who he is. We just started talking. He fought Holmes, almost knocked him out in the seventh. Ended up losing the fight, but I'm going to tell you, it was awesome. I'm actually going to try to get him up here.
Okay.
You
All right.
know? And if I wasn't in the cigar world, I never would have met him.
Right.
Because these are the kind of people that you meet in the cigar world. One night here, I had the scout from the Los Angeles Dodgers here. They were scouting a guy out of Troy for a pitcher. Because this place here, you know, people go to the website and they look for a cigar place. They want to come in, they want to do their work, or they come here, relax. There's plenty of room. You want to get involved? We got darts, you know, we got the ping pong, we got a lot of things if you want to get involved.
Yeah.
But if you just want to, you know, relax and do your thing, it's okay, because I wait on you, because this is royalty.
Yes.
Okay? This is all about making sure that you are 100% satisfied. And because it comes from passion.
A whole
from
entire
anything else.
episode just dedicated to franchising versus building your own business, and that'll be a long conversation, but a worth it one. I'll definitely tap in for that one. Now, we talked about $1. Why is everyone so secretive about numbers?
What do you mean? Like,
So, when you walk up to a business,
yep.
and you walk in there, and if you were to sit down with the owner, and you said, "How much does this place make?" They're not going to say, "Well, this is the number. You know, here is my amount." And I get that to a certain extent, but if I'm starting a business, even if it's not competition to yours, I want to know, what are price ranges? What are some of the deals that I can get out there? What are the numbers that I can work with and realistically start something? What are the numbers that I can realistically expect to earn? Because the numbers are all over the place. Even finding out, you know, how much YouTube revenue you can make on videos with thousands and thousands of views. It's all over the board. No one's going to give you a straight answer on things like that. And I found that, you know, walking around talking to business owners in this area as well, they're not going to give you a real answer. They're going to say, I make enough to get by.
Yeah.
Right?
Isn't that a great question? That's a great answer, right?
Yeah.
Because you go, all right, so then I'm going into this blind and I'm just going to, you know, of course we're going to, that's why they call them projections. You know, before I started this business, I talked to a lot of people and kind of got an idea like what it would take for me to stay in business. I did my 3 years projection. Okay. And, because again, we can get another segment of business. I'll break it down to you that it's so easy. I remember I went to Hudson Valley, and I was taking
Harvard on the Hudson. I love that place.
Harvard on the Hudson. Back in the day, I was taking business law and I was taking accounting, and it was all about in the books. I was doing reading and then putting stuff into columns and coming out with this end number. Okay, you're taught book, but you're not taught reality. Here we're going to give you reality.
Right.
I'll break it down to you so simple that you'll be able to do it.
Right.
I want people to grow. I want people to succeed. I don't want people to fail.
Right.
I got the help, and that's why I'm sharing this back out here, because as one person said, you can't take it with you.
Right.
You're going to get the right way to do it to what I learned. At least it's a guideline. Good guidelines.
Right. Which is a lot more than a lot of people have right now. They're just, I'll get an LLC, I'll go on LegalZoom, open one up, hope that the CPAs there won't screw me over and eventually take my books. We'll get past that.
Yeah, you have to. I'm in every segment and making sure that everybody's on the same page. Like you said earlier, secrets like this and that.
Yeah.
Well, how's anybody else going to say, hey, why should I stay here or why should I do this if I don't have any information? We all know that the workforce out there is a little tougher than it used to be. I mean, I can remember I used to have to go through all these interviews and this and that, and things have changed. But when I was running a couple of stores, I had to hire people, I had to do this, I had to do a lot of things, and it's not easy training people. And that's where I know right away whether you have passion or not. If you got passion, you have my time. If I know that you don't have the passion, I don't know what to tell you. Then you're just wasting your own time.
Yeah. Now, we're going to skip down because you actually touched on something I was going to ask. How do you sniff out and we might need to bleep it, how do you sniff out the bullshit? How do you tell those people that are going to come up to you and tell you a beautiful story about how they can change your life and how they can, fix everything that's going on with you and how they can, help you do this better than the next guy? How do you tell those people apart? What are some key signs that you look for personally?
Well, first thing, I want to see how long your attention span is. If you got a good attention span, then you're gonna be okay. Like if you're bouncing around and you're not really paying attention and you're just kind of glossing it over, I know right there that it's not really gonna go anywhere. About 2 weeks ago, I had a gentleman come up to me and he wanted to start, I'm not going to say the business, but he wanted to start a business. And I said, look, I have a perfect spot for you. I see it already. It's ready to go. We can get you done. I can have you open probably within 2 months. Ready to go. All you got to do is do a couple of things and you'll turn that key. And then I heard crickets. It was gone. But I knew him for a long time, so I figured, hey, I give him, let's give it a shot. But again, everybody wants to open a business.
Right.
But I'm going to teach you how to get to turn that key.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is keep listening here on the podcast.
Yep.
And then one day you might have that key.
Right.
You hold the key. It's invisible right now, but you can make it reality.
Right.
Like we're making this reality.
Yep. You hold the key to the ignition. Rick and I are going to help you put it into the ignition slot, and it's your choice. So if you're driving a manual, put your foot on the clutch and turn the key. That's all you have to do. Turn the key. After you have the information, you are armed with that key. You can put it in the ignition. Are you going to turn it?
Start it up.
Yeah.
And what the future holds, who knows? Maybe there's going to be something else, but we're going to keep listening. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep making contacts, and you never know. I make sure that if we're going to do that, the people who want to do it are what? All in.
All in. All in.
You got to be all in.
I might change the name of the podcast to the All In Podcast.
The All In Podcast.
Are you all in?
You all in, and maybe, as we go too, we're going to bring some other people in too.
Yeah.
And you're going to hear how they feel about what happened here too.
Yeah.
And it's just great. It's just great.
It feels like magic almost, and I hate using that word because it's so Disney. It's so out there, but this place it gives you that energy. Like, had a tough day, you don't really want to go on. You come here, you see Rick bouncing off the wall. You know he just got off of a 8-hour, 9-hour shift previously, and you're like, what am I doing? I'm sitting around. I just had an 8-hour, 10-hour day at work, and I'm just sitting here not doing anything. Let's get to work.
Let's get to work.
Let's get to work.
You're 27.
Yeah.
I'm 61. What's 61 minus 27?
34? You're going to put me on the spot.
I got to put you on the spot. Imagine what you can do in 34 years. We don't have a crystal ball.
Right.
But you're starting. See, he started. He put the key in the ignition, and he started it. And here we are.
Right.
Okay. It's funny, too, because I told some people that we were going to start doing this.
Yeah.
They already want to be on. They already want to be on. They can't wait till we have someone else on.
Yeah.
They loved it because they saw the microphones back here and everything. They were like, hey, Rick, what are you doing now? I go, we're going to do a podcast.
Yeah.
So-
Providing knowledge, giving information, and we're going to have fun doing it.
Exactly.
We're going to have good cigars.
We're going to have cigars every week. And then, who knows? Like after the podcast, if you want to come in and have a good cigar,
Yeah.
we could talk afterwards too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people today, it's funny today, 20, 25 years ago, you maybe could get a couple words out of me. I'd be like, Now today people go, Rick, I got to get going. Because I can talk and talk and talk because I got so much. I got so much great stuff.
Right.
Because, experience is the teacher.
And you have a lot of good information. That's another key. It's not fake. It's all real. It's all off the cuff. It's all from experience. It's not from, well, I read in this book one time that you can do this. No, this is how I do it. This is how I've done it in the past.
It worked.
It worked.
You need to, to read, do some research. You have to do it. All I hear is like, a lot of young guys, you get out of college and you just spent $250,000 and now you got to go get a job. Okay. And people will say to you, well, you don't have enough experience. Well, hire me and give me some experience. The thing is, though, when employers hire you, what are you going to bring to the table?
Right.
Okay. And that's where I know right away whether you're going to bring something great to the table or not. Because time is precious, and if you use your time wisely, there's success at the end of the rainbow. It's there. Then you get to see all the colors of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Like I said, after the podcast, I'm over here on Hamburg Street, 2666 Hamburg Street.
Stop
we're gonna do this on a Tuesday night once a month, and like I said, we'll give you the date that we're going to be doing this. So then after we're done, if you want to come in and talk to me and Mustafa and whatever we're going to do, but we're going to keep you updated on a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
Absolutely. Over a couple more questions, and we're going to wrap this one up.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up because I don't want to bore you.
Overload 'em.
I don't want to bore everybody here, But I'm not bored right now because you know what? I'm sitting here with a great guy, with a great cigar, and a great cigar place.
Yes.
I mean, how does it get better?
All right. Most important question. When do you know you're ready to start the business? When do you know this is my idea? I have it. I think I have the money ready. And we'll have a whole episode about how much you need to start any kind of business that you're going with. But just as a general rule, you've gone over that. You know you have the money ready. You have everything set aside. You have your CPA. You have your accountant. You have your lawyers. How do you know you're ready? You as a person. How did you know you were ready to start up the jewelry?
I just knew that I reached the ceiling. I reached the ceiling of where I felt that was it. There was no more advancement. There was nothing there for me anymore. And I just knew that change had to happen. and I just knew that I loved jewelry. All right, so I took a shot. Because there was no place else for me to go. I wasn't going to go into corporate. I wasn't going to go into all that control. Okay.
Right.
I've learned that you got to be a self-starter. Like you said it perfectly. Putting that key in and turning the ignition. We don't know. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
I'll wait till I get there. But I have a plan for tomorrow. One day I have a plan. Just what I'm going to do tomorrow. Like we had this plan to do this tonight.
Yeah.
You were here early. He was here early.
Yeah.
Ready to go. He didn't show up at 5 or 7 and we were just going to go. You know? So you just know, you feel it. It's your internal instincts. You just know it's time for change. And that's what happens with a lot of people. I was one of them. You know, change is difficult for people.
Yeah.
You
Change
know?
is scary.
Yeah. You know, the confidence, you know, and you know it is, no one likes to fail.
Right.
I hate to fail. Okay? I'm not failing because I'm asking questions and I'm listening and I'm learning.
Right.
That's why things just keep going at a good pace. You don't need to have the whole enchilada.
Right.
Okay? You have to, like I said earlier, there's steps, and you have to be willing to take those steps.
Yeah.
So you just know it when it's time. Like I said, you could, if you got the money, like you said, you got the money and you're ready to go, just do it now.
Right.
And get the right people in your corner that are going to help you.
Right.
You know, so.
Hey everyone, editor and co-host Mufassa here. I want to thank everyone again for tuning in to the second episode of the Cigars at the Castle podcast. We love the feedback that we've gotten so far, and we are making changes to the camera and microphone setup on the next recording date in March. Make sure to tune in next week. We are going to put out episodes 3, 4, and 5 all in one video. Episodes 4 and 5 were on the shorter end, so we decided to put it out all at once to give you all the best possible content that we have. Again, thank you all so much for listening. Please, if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe to us. Thank you to everyone who has already sent a DM, email, or used the website to ask a question. We will address all of those questions that you have on the next live recording date in March. Rick and I are very excited to get back into this and answer all of these great questions that you have sent in. Don't forget, you can submit your questions in a comment below or anonymously through the website, cigarsatthecastle.com. Like Rick always says, find something you're passionate about, ask the question, and be all in. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.